and rest.
A cat just joined the room, by the way.
Yeah, a cat scared
So
the
if you
crap
heard the
out of
little
me.
meow, it was our little friend Marla.
Don't trust her; she'll bite you. But we want to have
She's
time.
never bitten me, by the way.
You're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. But you want to make times for the naps and the rest time, and that includes you and your older children as well. Because I feel like naps and rest time, oh my gosh, especially like during the summer, because it's so hot. And if we have to go run errands in the morning or we do anything outside during the day, like I feel like we have to like completely recharge and rehydrate for the entire day.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, a few weekends ago, we went to Waco.
Yeah.
And we went to the zoo. Because I like to go to all the zoos. Like if I go to a state, I'm going to go to that zoo.
Oh, that's fun.
So that's just one of my things. So I've been to most of the zoos in Texas. And multiple times. And Waco Zoo, we go there. And we did not build our day very well. And it was very much just kind of, we were winging it. Not typical our style. And it was also incredibly hot and humid and muggy. And we're walking around. And my kid, all of a sudden, he just goes, "Why does my butt itch?" Like as loud as he can. And I go, "Hey, buddy, that's what we think. We keep those comments to ourselves." He goes, "My butt is itchy, and it hurts, and it itchy." And he just kept repeating himself over and over. I'm like, "Okay, I'll take you to the bathroom. Just hold on. Why does it itch?" And just like screaming bloody murder about his butt being itchy.
Butt. Oh my goodness.
And so I had to explain to him what sweat does to our booties.
But all because his schedule is messed up.
Yeah, his schedule was messed up. And he hadn't had a nap. And it wasn't fair.
I mean, I would consider that not fair, too. I like my naps. So, poor baby with his itchy, sweaty butt. Aw. And he's not potty trained either, so that doesn't help. Because he's got the pull-up. Oh, my goodness.
Extra muggy down there.
He'll learn one day, right?
Yes.
Right? We're going to tell ourselves that. Dividing chores can help keep a schedule because there are household chores. It doesn't matter if you have like a gazillion animals like I do, or if you just have dogs like you do, like
or just like vacuuming and
like we're talking like basic household chores. Have the kids help. Like there is no excuse for a child not to help with something.
Kids like to help because they're learning things that they're going to do when they're older.
Yeah, because they have to learn how to sweep and mop because at some point, hopefully, they live on their own and they have to sweep and mop their own house. Otherwise, you're not going to want to visit them. Like, that's just where I'm at. Like, there's no way. I'm sorry, I had to get a sip of that wine real quick. So, for chores, you can actually find a list of developmentally appropriate chores at childdevelopmentinfo.com. They have it's a whole list of chores, like for anything you can think of from basically from the time they can walk at like 2 to 3. They have a list of chores that these kids can do up until the time that they should move out of your house. And it's pretty impressive because they have it broken down, why the age group, and it has to do with the child's mental capabilities versus their age capabilities. Like,
right.
It's pretty good. So I know like my youngest, he feeds the cats. They're getting a little pudgy. But
they're happy.
They're very happy. But his chore is to feed the cat and chase the chickens. There's no benefit, I want to say, to him chasing my chickens, except that I'm hoping it wears him out so he goes to bed every night. But every day he has to chase the chickens to put them up. Do they go up? Absolutely not, because they're being chased. But he sleeps so much better
when
now that he has
put
this
them up.
Chore to help. And I said chore with quotation marks. But you get what I'm saying. Like, give kids chores. Divide, conquer. It helps create and maintain this schedule.
Also, they'll help keep themselves tidier because if they're helping with the chores, they don't want to clean it up later. So they'll put things away more likely and things like that.
Yeah, like we've... it's been nice. So the older kids already know to put their dishes in the sink, but now the toddler is picking that up as well, that he's supposed to put... The disaster happens is that he doesn't understand you should scrape any food off of your plate before it goes in our sink because we don't have a garbage disposal.
So you have to fish it out.
So then you have to, like, fish everything out of the sink. I keep thinking I buy better things to help prevent this, but we haven't gotten there yet. Otherwise, he throws the dishes away I would much prefer him to stick the food in the sink and deal with food rather than having to dig my dishes out of the
Yes.
trash. I have options, right? But them having chores really helps him to understand that there are things that he has to do to help out as well. And it's nice because it helps create like a family, like, I don't know, like a dynamic of respect. Like everybody's helping. It's
Yes.
our home, right?
Well, not just that, but they're feeding off of energy of being with you.
Mm-hmm.
Children want to be with you and doing whatever you're doing.
True story. Almost annoyingly so.
Yeah,
I
my
understand.
kid is over the top with that.
But I know that maintaining schedules with different age groups gets really hard because, like, the wee one needs a nap, right, at some point in the afternoon, or he's absolutely atrocious. And, you know, high schoolers don't need a nap at all. And they're like, why are we having to, like,
Take a break.
And I'm like, because this is what we have to do. Now, there are occasions when my husband and I can tag team stuff, and they don't have to stop what they're doing for him.
Right.
But most of the time, we just have to bend and make this work.
Compromise.
Yeah. Because otherwise, we will never get anything accomplished, and I won't get any grocery shopping done, and it'll be terrible.
And no one likes a toddler screaming nonstop for hours.
No, and it's not fun to travel with. It's not fun to do anything with. And so we do tend to make our days around his schedule. And his schedule involves getting up, eating, sleeping, getting up, eating, and sleeping. That's his schedule. It hasn't changed much from birth, so he doesn't do any extra activities. So it's a little bit easier in that respect, I guess. But we do. Like, we all kind of bend to make our day around that because it's easier that way. Spontaneous events are very difficult. Like, I don't do... We've talked about this. Neither of us really do spontaneous.
No.
anything.
Not truly spontaneous.
No.
I mean, we might come up with an idea and then just make it happen, but it's not...
Let's
like,
see what
within
happens.
an hour.
Yeah. Let's just wing it. Let's just go. No, we're not those people. But I hear, not experienced, that spontaneous events, while you have scheduled, like, you can make room for it, basically, is what I've heard. I've not done it.
Like, oh, we have a lot of downtime typically between 10 and 11:30.
Mm-hmm. And so let's squeeze something in today. And you just do it. Like, you're like, you know what? I'm not sitting at home today. We're going to go bowling. Okay. Like, I mean, my husband's that person. I'm not. He did do that the other day. He took the kids bowling. And I was like, that's nice. I have to work. But he likes being spontaneous, where I want to plan every single part of my day and then just adjust as necessary. Like, before you even came over, like, I had a whole schedule of, like, chores written up on the board of what I wanted to get done for the day. We got them all done this morning because I've been up since 6.
Well, that's impressive.
I know, right? It was very, vacuum the office, which we're currently sitting in, so you're welcome. I dusted. You're welcome.
Marla's going to help with that.
She's probably putting all her hair everywhere again. And then, like, I did a load of laundry, and then we swept and we mopped. Like, that's it. But having that list, like, helps set my day. Yeah, and then from there, I just mark it off, which then makes me feel like I'm a true adult because I've marked something off my list. Absolutely. And I love that. So
that's why video games are so addictive, is because they give you challenges, and as you meet them, there's new challenges to complete. So checking things off is definitely a mental habit thing of just being human.
Yeah, which is funny because I don't play video games at all, but you give me a whiteboard with a marker and I can make a list. I am the happiest girl in the world.
Those things off.
I'm going to check all the shit off. So, but that's a way to help balance your schedule, is by maintaining a list. Everybody kind of does it different. Some people do it day by day. Some people do it weekly. I do an overall week schedule and then adjust accordingly.
Yeah, I tend to stick to about a week.
Yeah, so like if we have like vacation Bible school, I go, hey, so you know how we usually do this on Monday night? That's not happening Monday night. Now we're going to do this. And that's how my schedule changes.
And I normally do it because I typically have time around the weekends to plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have plans to plan.
Plans to plan. I like that, plans to plan.
So I can't really go much farther than that because I don't have enough time to plan for an entire month.
Yeah, I can't plan a month out.
So then the next weekend, I'll plan for that week.
I did have to put stuff on my schedule, so obviously this is coming out after the 4th of July. But this plan was made before the 4th of July. I was talking with a friend of mine, and she's like, hey, we need to hang out. And I was like, hell yeah, we do. And so we're like comparing our weekends, and I went, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that. And she goes, I'm off the 4th. And I said, hey, me too.
Let's hang out on the 4th.
So I had to put it in my, but we're talking like we're a month and a half out from the 4th of July, and I'm having to put this on my calendar.
Year, the 4th of July is in the middle of the year, in the middle of the week.
Which is
terrible.
Who made this calendar? This is a terrible idea. So it's fine, but we're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out that day.
The Mayans.
So
I don't know.
But I had to plan it a month and a half in advance, and I think that's silly of me. But I have to do that. Like I have to plan everything out. Holidays can really
it throws everyone off.
Yeah,
and really that's why everyone gets so easily frustrated around the holidays.
Yeah, because you're not sleeping when you normally do. Me, in particular, I'm up so much earlier and I go to bed so much later because I want to soak in all the moments I can with, like, family out of town. And so I'm, like, terrible about it. Like, I'm getting 3 hours of sleep at night because I'm up all night and then I'm getting up early. I'm playing host or hostess or
I'm
wanting
a host
to hang
by
out with
nature.
them.
Like, even if I'm not at my house,
I'm
a host by nature.
Yeah, I get up early.
Like, do you need some tea?
Yeah, I'm up early. I want to hang out with people.
Tea? I can make some hot tea for you.
I love to gossip. I don't know if y'all know that about me, but so, like, I want to be the first one up because I want to know who's up early so that we can get our tea time in. And by tea time, I just mean gossip because I'm not drinking tea in the morning. I'm totally having coffee, let's be honest. All right, the tea doesn't cut it. But I need that, right? Like, I have to have that. So I know this, so I have to plan my holiday schedules accordingly. I have to make sure the kids still get their schedule, really is what I go for, is that...
And not being up till midnight.
The kids go to bed at decent hours, so not still their normal time, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Because I don't handle the angry screams very well.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'll deal with tantrums, but, like, pure on anger screaming,
oh yeah,
I do not handle that well.
Nobody wants to be screamed at, and yours is really good at it.
Yes, he's got some lungs.
Mm-hmm. It's a skill,
which is good because it didn't come from me because I don't have good lungs.
You're like, not me. Tap you in, Dad. Calling you out. Divorce and schedule gets really messy, and I speak from experience of being a divorced child, like a child from a divorced home, and then from being a divorced parent myself. And I did lots of research on this because I was like, there has to be like something that we do to like make it easier on the kids, like
even
surely,
if it's slightly,
but. And unfortunately, there's not. Like, their schedule is going to be complete chaos unless you are in a 100% co-parenting relationship with the other parent. It's not going to happen.
Because if they're at one location and doing something different than at your house, it's
basically
flip-flopping.
If bedtimes and rules are different at each location, then that takes so long for the kids to settle into a routine. And so if they have weekends with one parent, well, then they've got 2 days of their schedule, and then they have to come back to your house, and so their whole schedule's thrown off, and it takes them several days to get back into a schedule just for it to be thrown off again in 2 weeks. And so that's really hard. I've only ever known one parent that's friends of mine that had like 100% co-parenting relationship with their divorced spouse.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. I wish more people were like them. If their daughters got into trouble, they sat down at each other's houses, so they were welcomed in each other's homes. I want to, there's no way in hell I'd let my ex in my house. But they did. But they did. Like, they would go sit down on the couch in one of their homes, whoever they decided upon, because they also lived across the street from each other. And by street, I mean, like, 3 blocks. But still, that's really close to live to your ex. All right? And they would, like, talk to the girls. Like, if they were like, hey, your grades aren't doing so well, it was both parents as a united front with their child.
That's awesome.
And so I feel like the kids do better in that type of situation, and it's really sad that you can't have that in a lot of divorces, but you should strive for that. I just want to say that. That's something you should strive for. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's what you should want. Because it does help with this maintaining of a schedule. And familiar schedules provide comfort